welcome to Change Started, to our series Change Trails. Today, again, we have a very special guest, Priyanka from Clan Earth. So, just to set the context, I mean, we all know the importance of planting trees, but how to go about it is always a dilemma. And then again, we want to buy eco-friendly products, but finding those elusive products is also something which we don't easily get around. So that's where Clan Earth comes into picture. So they are combining two special aspects for somebody who wants to do something for the planet. So Clan Earth is bringing those eco-friendly products and also helping in planting trees and making our beautiful planet green again. So welcome, Priyanka. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you
It's
so
it's
much,
pleasure
Karan.
to
That
have you.
was quite an apt introduction for Clan Earth. It's the two pillars that we talk about. So thank you.
So why don't you start, Priyanka? I mean, before Clan Earth, what were you doing? Your journey before Clan Earth.
So I think, see, as professionally, I was working as a business analyst. I completed my engineering. I started as a coder. Actually, I started as a software developer. I worked for 1 year in software development, and then I became a business analyst. And so I have sort of five plus years of experience in that domain. But that's not where this relates to. Where this relates to is I was from my college life. I was volunteering. I was volunteering with children in orphanages with an organization called Make a Difference. And I really cherished that experience. I really loved it. And I really thought that, that was having an influence. And I sort of in my mind always wanted to continue. I don't know. Back then I was not very sure if this is what I want to do, but I never wanted to leave that aspect. So when I started working, I couldn't continue with Make a Difference. But that's when I started sort of my own. I started working in a slum close to my home. I live in Kolkata, not exactly in Kolkata, in Havra. And where I live, about 2 kilometers away, there's a very big slum. And I was volunteering there. I talked to a few of my closest friends, and we started working with children there. So we were spending time teaching the children, being their mentors, sort of being mentors, especially in a slum. It's all disorganized. It's unlike an orphanage, really. So we were doing a lot of work there. A lot of people started joining us. It was shape of an organization, and to have more children in, we started doing handicrafts with them because when you teach them, a small bulk of children comes in who are really interested. Even though you're making it exciting, when we started doing handicrafts, a lot more children were coming in. So we this is an important means to empower them, because the children who are good at education, perhaps they'll struggle and they'll get help from organizations like us, people, and they'll do good. But what about all the other children who are not interested? Are they going to just end up with drugs? So we said handcrafting is a really unique way to make them creative, them engaged, to sort of do away with the bad habits and inculcate the good ones. So that was the balance we were creating. And then since we were working there in the slums for more than 3 years, the community had a lot of trust in us. So that's when this is closer to where Clan Earth comes out. We started doing a lot of handicrafting with the adults as well, with the young adults. So we were making a lot of jewelries. We were taking them to a lot of fairs and stuff like that. So our idea was that we'll not only teach them how to handicraft, but different aspects of it. So how do you account? How do a lead or just operate in a team? How do you sell your stuff? How do you face your customers? So we were doing a lot of that, and slowly we realized that handicraft, like making different things different season, is a little tricky. And we didn't have so much expertise in building things which we could scale. So that's when Brot and Vishwas, who's another person who's my partner at Clan Earth, he was also working with us from the very beginning. He was with me from the very beginning. And I think back in 2019 is when we said that if we do want to empower them, because now we're talking about financial stability, and having spent 6 years in the slums, we understood that they have everything, they have the values, and the only thing lacking is the lack of opportunities and the lack of funds, really. So we said, if we want to, and we were never into charity. Like, we would not distribute things. We did not want to put that early on in their minds that you could get free things from everywhere. That's not how it works. We were always against it. So we said, if we want to empower them, then we have to do serious skilling and create the opportunities. That's when Clan Earth was born. That's the first seed of it. When we said, if we're going to do this, then we have to possibly take a step back from handicrafting. I know it works for a lot of other people, but it was not working for us. So we said we'll have to scale on one kind of product. And by the time we had taught a lot of people how to use the sewing machine, to do sewing for clothes, bags, and stuff like that. So that was one thing that we'd already taught a lot of people. And that's when bag came in. There were a few little things, clothing and footwear has sizing and all of that. So it's a little bit complicated. Like I said, neither me or Austin had any business background. So we were trying to simplify things that we could control. That's how we ended up on backpacks. And so that's how it became the company which brought in the first plastic-free, cruelty-free backpack. That was sort of the background. And the plastic-free, cruelty-free angle comes from, it's a personal thing. So both Brotin and I live a more or less sustainable sort of a life. He can be called a minimalist. He buys really like good stuff and wears them for years at stretch. And I have been transitioning into zero waste living for more than 3 years now. And I produce very less waste. I think last year was amazing because I produced maybe 100, 200 grams of waste, though it was very difficult in between with the lockdown. But I found us recycling services and we could recycle the waste that we were generating.
Okay, cool. So that is a fantastic story, Priyanka. So from software to social good. So that is your story, right?
Yes, you could say that.
So fantastic. So what was the trigger point? What was that moment when you said, no, I mean, we have to do more than what we are doing? So what was the trigger point, inflection point of moving from just that social sector to Clan Earth?
So yeah, I think for us, it was not like one day, it was a journey. Through all of at least the second half of 2018, we were saying that, if we want to really impact lives, because now, we had already instilled a lot of hope in these families, that, they really saw that when they're going to a lot of places, new things are happening in their lives, right? So now they had a lot of hope that, these Didi and Dada, these people are going to do something good for us. But then we had to make that system, that process where we can really benefit their lives. And it's not just a hope or dream that we're showing them and then we leave them for themselves. So it was like a decision that we took that, we have to do something more concrete, a little bit more scalable and defined. So it was, you could say it this way, that it was a desire, see them financially enabled, strong. That was what inspired us to start Clan Earth. Yeah.
Fantastic. So how do you go about identifying those people, Priyanka? I mean, that is a very tough job, right? I mean, you cannot just go to the street and start picking out people. I mean, what is the criteria? What are the parameters you look for those people whom you want to pick and nurture and empower along your journey?
Yeah. So I think, the most important thing was that we spent a lot of time. I think when trust is built on familiarity, if I know you enough, I know how you are, that's when I build trust with you. So it's both ways. As the communities were building trust with us, we were also building trust with them. We knew that if we are going to teach them something, there are these 5 people out of the 50 who are really going to utilize that and going to, try to build a future out of it. So it is really tricky. You said the right way. Initial years for us were really tricky. This is the part when we were still teaching the children and working with the children. And it is always a small number of people that you can deeply impact. You can impact large number of people at a high level. But, if you want to really change their lives, it is only a very few people. Even on the education side, we're still funding, this is not part of Clan Earth, but as individuals, we're still funding the education of the ones who are really good at it and who want to do well. So similarly, we saw, who are the people whom when we teach, they want to be taught. Because you can do charity for a really, really long time. And there are tons of freeloaders who don't care about it, who don't want to change their lives, who are very happy to just receive that. And not just in slums, everywhere, I think. So yeah, I think the most important thing for us was that community building that we've done. That the fact that we had 6 years behind us, we know the people very well that we are interacting with, and sometimes, obviously, sometimes things go wrong,
Yeah.
and you realize later. That's okay. But the most important part definitely was community building. In fact, even at Clan Earth, I think the most important fact has been community building. Even when before we started, we were um, we were passionate about sustainability, sustainable living, conservation of flora and fauna, animals. So we started building our community on Instagram, and that's what also worked out for Clan Earth. So I think community building and having the same desire sort of clicks. So that is it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, having a strong foundation is what sets the journey in a proper way ahead. So,
Yeah.
so how do you I mean? What is that aspect that you decide to make a backpack and maybe not a something else? So, how do you decide a product? How do you pick that product? How do you supply that raw material? So, tell us about that.
Yeah, why I'm smiling is because it's so unrelatable, having studied engineering and having worked as a business analyst, and now we're just involved in different aspects of backpacks. But yeah, how it started primarily was, we never really went into seeing what product is working out for us. It actually came from the need. So since our basis was financial empowerment, we wanted to see what can we work with that these communities can easily work with and then also scale. So that was the basis. And like I said, we were thinking of few things, say clothes. So even if you want to just say begin a brand of t-shirts, you have to have a few designs in the entire range, right? From XS to XXL, right? And that's a lot of inventory and stock that you're talking about. So obviously, you have to have the training, but you also have to have the funds, the storage. It's slightly complicated. So that's how we decided on backpacks, because it is gender neutral. It is size. I mean, it does not depend on the size. So that's how we decided on backpacks in the first place. And then since then, I mean, we were very curious. Once we thought about it, it was very curious to know that in India, there aren't brands who really are plastic free or are offering sustainable choices in the carry space. At least for the last few years, India has this awareness of adopting eco-friendly or eco-sustainable products. But if you look at the carry space, there aren't any brands or players or even smaller brands which were there. So like we call ourselves India's first plastic-free, cruelty-free backpacks. This is based out of research. I mean, it does not have to be that we are the first ones, but we couldn't find anybody who was doing it completely. Like we found quite a few brands who were using, say, cotton canvas to make their backpacks as against polyester, but maybe they were using plastic chains or plastic lining. We searched a lot of brands and we saw that this is not available in India. What about all the people who care about it? And I was one of those people. I mean, I was my own audience. So that's how we decided on the first batch of things and how it will be made. And since then, I mean, it's been our process that since we are working as a carry accessory space, we are bringing more and more elements related to that. Like later in the year in 2020, we bought wallets which were made out of cork. We also bought a lot of other things which are more focused on sustainable living. Like we do sell toothbrush, bamboo toothbrush, or candles which are built out of upcycled coconut shells. These were more or less experiment. I mean, people were really looking at Clan Earth as a brand which is in the sustainable space. They were not looking at Clan Earth and saying that backpack company. So because, I mean, since the way we discovered these products, I mean, when I saw an upcycled coconut shell candle, I was really excited. So I thought, my audiences who are like me would also be excited. So we brought that in. So yeah, that's how we started from backpacks and then continued into other sustainable living products.
So how many product lines you are currently into, Priyanka?
So right now we're doing backpacks, wallets, purses, dock kits, pouches, and on the sustainable living side, we're doing smaller like bamboo toothbrush, plantable notebooks, recycled paper, pen and pencil, which I'm using myself, and then some of those things like candles, which is made out of soy wax and built in coconut shell. There are some coconut bowls that we're using. These are like, you could almost say that this coconut bowl is a product which is built out of nothing because it was just going out to waste. And then it is converted into a product and you can so well use it and looks very aesthetic as well. So yeah, these are pretty much all the verticals that we are in. And in 2020 also, we'll continue to make more and more carry related products, and we'll also like to discover and add more sustainable living products as we like it, as we go ahead and we like it.
But your primary product line is those carry product, right? I mean, the backpacks, the wallets, all that stuff. So just a following question. Yeah. So my question would be like, how do you identify the material and how do you go about procuring that material? I mean, that is also an important aspect. I mean, you need to do quality checks and all that, right? So ensuring that it is cruelty free and plastic free. So how do you ensure that?
Getting to the materials was the trickiest part for us, because like I always say, Kolkata is a place where you expect to find most things. But when we went around the places which sells things for backpacks, it was all polyester. And so first of all, it was difficult to research because what we were looking, that's fabric, interlinings, chains, zippers, straps, small tidbits like the logo, other parts, all of this. And we were looking at the fact that pretty much everything is built out of either polyester or plastic or nylon. The alternative to this, we didn't know because we had no experience. We had possibly never even thought about it. As normal people, we don't really think about these things. Finding the alternatives and listing them. And then the second thing was trying to source that, which was very difficult, not available in Kolkata easily, not even in the wholesale markets. So yeah, I think we did a lot of research on Google, on India Mart. We found a lot of things and then began the whole process. It's a bootstrapped company. So just getting materials at lower volumes to start is very tricky. So you have to do 1,000 calls for sure. But at the end of the 1,000 calls, I'm sure you'll get what you want. You have to, if you don't die by that time, by the 1,000th call, then you are for sure getting the material that you want. So yeah, it was a lot of research, listing in and then looking out for people who will provide that for us. So a lot of times maybe we did not get what we wanted. Maybe we listed something and we didn't get that. So we settled in for the second best part. So yeah, it's never, I mean, I think sometimes with the sustainable living aspect, we relate perfectionism a lot. Saying you're plastic free, if you're saying you're a zero waster, you actually make zero waste. That's not true. It's like a transition, it's a progress. You want to do one step better than you're doing and want to progress from there.
Absolutely. Makes
I don't know that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense. So Priyanka, how's the customer feedback? So you have been in the industry from last couple of years selling your various products. So how's the customer feedback? How's the response like?
Yeah. So why I smiled again is because we started last year and we launched our first product mid-January. When I say launched, it means launched on social media. Our website was actually up only in May 2020, so after the lockdown. That from January to May, obviously March and April were almost dead, but we were working on social media. So we started launching one product. Customer feedback has been amazing from day one. So yeah, like I said, we started building our Instagram community much before January. And when we launched, we started getting orders from the very first day, which was great. But then by the time we came in, everything was different. Uh, but then, yeah, the one thing, like 2020 has been a very harsh year, very year for people in general. And but fortunately, I mean, health wise and everything, it's been good for us. But yeah, in the entrepreneurship journey, it's been very tricky, both like mentally and how you do your operations as well. So the thing that has survived us primarily is the customer feedback.
Yeah, yeah.
So our feedback has just been amazing. People love the products, which is great, but they love the other aspects that we've built as well. So whether it's about planting the 5 trees, I mean, different people like it differently. Some people really love planting angle, that with making a purchase, they can also plant the tree. People love that we package completely plastic free and mostly compostable and biodegradable. They also like that the entire material, every like raw material has been researched into, and there has been an effort to make them as sustainable as possible. And they also like the fact that we're trying to empower artisans and the local communities where we are from. So yeah, people have been loving the brand and the products. So yeah, that's what has kept us alive, and that's what we're really hoping for it to grow in 2021 as well.
Absolutely, and all the power to you. So, one interesting thing about what distinguish you from other brands and other company is that five planting that 5 trees, right? So that is probably for me a USP for your brand. So how did you decide that? I mean, we should sell it. We should sell the product. We are empowering the social community, and we then will also plant those 5 trees. So what was the decision for that? That is very interesting.
Yeah. So I think it actually happened the way when we were planning the products, it was the most important for us that we can make it as sustainable as possible. By the time that we had completely struggled with it and won over it, then we were like, is there something that we can do beyond this? Is there something that we can do with the revenue that's coming in? Tree planting is close to our heart. It's very important at the hour. With the deforestation rates going to the last forest that we have, sacred ones, it was very important for us to do. So that's how I think it was just a spark. I mean, the cause was that we wanted to do something with the revenue that we are getting. And we also wanted, one important thing for us also was the fact that we wanted the client to sort of celebrate what they are doing. I mean, 2020 is really not the year, or 2020 or ahead is really not the time for consumerism. It is really not about buying more and more and more. So we wanted people to make conscious choices and for them to feel really good about their choices. So these were the two things that ended up saying that we want to do something. And somewhere down that plan, I think we settled on planting the trees. So when we decided on planting the trees, that's when our journey of research again began. Because just as individuals, we might have done a lot of planting around our houses or in our schools or during our college. And all of us have some experience in saying that, when we plant trees around our houses, a lot of them don't survive. The survival rate is really low. There is nobody to take care of it. So when we said that if we want to trees, then how do we do it in a way that it actually has some impact and it's not just for the sake of it? So that's when we started researching that how do planting happen, or reforestation in particular. Like our planting is not planting of new trees in new areas. So we don't take a land and we start planting over there. It's mostly done wherever there was deforestation. So if you understand deforestation, it is always, I mean, some tribes, some villages, some town has a land and then it is deforested out, right? And locals don't have so much power. So we then started work with locals of that land, and they involve the local trees has to be grown here. If you read into planting also, it's very complex. Like for many years, palm plantations have been done.
Yeah.
And when you cut all the forest and just plant palm trees one after the other, which is called a monoculture, it's really not a forest. It does not really bring the animals back.
Exactly.
So you're causing more harm by planting that. So we did a lot of research about these because we did not know these things genuinely. So we read, we researched, we understood how different organizations work, and then we find oldest organizations in the world, organizations in India as well, and they are growing in India, which is really good for us.
Whom did you collaborate with? I mean,
So we're working with Eden Reforestation for our planting.
okay, cool, cool. So my next question is, how do you go about selling your stuff? Is it like only social media, or you have an online presence, or you have a retail presence? How do you go about?
Yeah. So we started with social media, and social media is one of our main elements where we take our story to. We also have our own website, and then we also listed on a few, you could say, eco marketplaces. Um, which are primarily catering to the sustainable demands and offering people sustainable choices. So these are our core, and then we are available at a few offline physical locations. Like we are available in Kerala, and in Goa. In Goa, it's called the paper boat,
Okay,
and in Kerala, I completely forgot what it is.
that's okay.
Kadha platform, yeah. So we are definitely in 2021 looking at more physical stores, and we want to list it more marketplaces, marketplaces which are more about handcrafting, eco choices. We want to be present on more and more of those, and in physical locations as well.
Cool. All the best to you. So that was my next question. What are your future plans for maybe for next 2-3 years? What are you thinking? What both of you are thinking? What Clan Earth is thinking?
So in terms of products, we are thinking everything sustainable. So definitely expanding the range. Even if you say just backpacks, we're trying to bring in different designs for different kinds of interests and likes. But everything that you can think in the carry space, backpacks, slings, more wallets, clutches, purses, yeah, stuff like this. And then we want to add more and more options in the sustainable living space as well. So even I don't know, will we go into that or not more and more, but we do want to. I mean, whatever we like, we would like to add that as an option for our audience as well. And then maybe if you're asking 3 to 5 years down the line, we might want to look at clothing or footwear. Um, on the other side, we want to definitely work with all sorts of innovative fabrics, innovative, sustainable, because I mean, sustainability is something that is being researched on for the last 5-6 years, and a lot of innovative fabrics are coming in, which are alternatives for, say, leather or polyester and nylon. So we want to experiment with more. We want to bring those choices to the Indian audiences, and we'll also maybe 3 to 5 is, if that's the horizon, we might be looking at using upcycled materials or recycled materials. So yeah, across products and across processes, we do have plans, everything related to sustainability, you could say, in a way.
Awesome. So you mentioned that you are currently bootstrapped. So is there any plan to raise money? Are you looking forward to raising some money?
Yeah, I think, we wouldn't be able to do what we plan to do with our funds, because especially because of the fact that, like I said, if the fabrics are new and they're not so readily available as against the lobby of, say, polyester, they tend to be expensive. Sometimes even 3 to 10x more expensive than what you normally have. So for us to try to experiment with those and bring those to our audiences, we'll definitely need funds, and ours wouldn't suffice. So we would look at raising funds sometime now or later. So yeah, if I think if we can pull in more money and we can experiment with more things, people will have more options to buy. So and make better choices. So that's definitely something that we want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in order to grow, there you need more resources, and money is one of the primary things. So yeah. So you have a very interesting name, Priyanka, Clan Earth. What was the idea behind choosing that name?
Oh yeah, that's completely my. I mean, my co-founder Broten. It's his idea. He came up with the name. In fact, there's a little story.
Yeah.
We wanted to sort of come with Cult Earth, and then we finalized on Clan Earth. And we really, when we finalized on Clan Earth, it had a very positive zing, and we liked it because Clan was like, in old times when you had tribes and clans, it was like a big group of people who had similar thinking and who could exist together. So when he said Clan Earth, I really liked it. He really liked it. We saw that it is not trademarked, so we took it. Yeah.
Fantastic. We need to enable, we need to enable the entire planet to be clan together and working for the environment and the planet.
Yes. So yeah, like we always say at Clanner that it is a clan of Earth lovers. So it can be any geography, any gender, anywhere. So yeah, the entire planet as might as well.
As of now, we are very few, so we need to make it as big as possible. My final question, Priyanka.
We're also enabling that a lot.
Yeah. So my final question to you is, you mentioned, you alluded to that, but just your personal connect with environment and nature.
Yeah, yeah. So first of all, I mean, like from my childhood, I would say I'm close to nature. Like I don't like to so much as party as being out in nature. So if there's a vacation choice, we are always out trekking or hiking, or even scuba diving, and not playing board games or something like that, or video games. So we always this kind. I mean, one of the things is being outdoors in nature. So that was there, and I think nature in general just like helps me to calm down as well, especially through last year. And in 2018, a very interesting thing happened. As I was reading more, I think since I was curious and as I was reading more, I was very fascinated by the zero waste movement and by the minimalism movement. I think it really resonated with me. I think I was always a minimalist, also is Brothen. But then I sort of challenged that, I have to build, if people can do it in America and in other countries, if they can live the zero waste life there, there is absolutely no way that we can't do it in India, because India is pretty much the land of sustainable choices. And we've sort of want to go towards the West and then also realize that that's not something which I wanted to do. So yeah, so in 2018, I took up this as a challenge that I want to start living zero waste. And I think one of the first things was making my own soap. So I started by making my own soap, which was done to reduce the packaging and everything. And from there to now, I mean, apart from essentials and food, I've pretty much bought nothing in 2020. So you could say I have not shopped for anything in 2020, which a lot of people have not done, because 2020 we were all stuck. So I want to go through 2021 as well without shopping anything as such. So yeah, I mean, since 2018, my relationship has changed and it has strengthened a lot. And I am all for the fact that, we need to preserve these resources. It's not something that is a choice anymore. It's just the need of the hour. Everyone has to do it, and everyone will do it one way or the other. And the fact that I or people like me find happiness in doing this is the most important thing. Like when I started composting last year with my mother, that was very exciting for me. So I've also tried to convert a couple of my friends into starting composting. I've had some of my friends who are also doing the zero waste movement, cutting down on the shopping with me. So I think I really enjoyed the process of transitioning into zero waste. It was difficult sometimes, but overall I really enjoyed this. And it's like, it's a strength that you have, that you can do with so much less resources and still enjoy it. It's more or less looked down as, how can you do this? Or do you starve yourself from, not shopping? But on the flip side, I really enjoy it. So yeah, that also went into my business, and I was very fortunate that I could make that the basis of my business and grow it from there. So yeah, it's altogether been a very exciting journey for me.
Awesome. So, I mean, again, I said software to social cause. I would add sustainability as well. So, three S's are like software, social, and sustainability. So fantastic story, Priyanka. I mean, all the best to you guys. You make your Clan Earth really, really big. So our wishes are there with you. Thanks a lot for your time, like taking us
Thank you
through
so
your
much,
journey.
Varun. That was really comprehensive. You asked so many good questions.